Today on Gear Modder, we're going to talk about the Belleville Tactical Research MiniMil Model 103. Let's get started. The Belleville Tactical Research MiniMil boot is a great cross between a minimalistic boot and a tactical boot. It offers the flexibility, it offers I think this is a 5mm drop, so almost a zero drop. As close as you're gonna get in a tactical boot. If you're looking for that ankle support, you're looking to keep debris out of your shoe, but you still want that minimalistic feel. It has the wide toe box. And so it's a really good boot. I love this boot. I originally got these boots because I love to go hiking, but I wanted to help my plantar fasciitis. And so I wanted as close to a zero drop boot as possible. And these actually did a really good job. They got rid of my pain. You just got to get used to walking in them. If you're not used to walking in a minimalistic boot, then I suggest wear them just a little bit at a time, get used to how to walk in them, because you can't, they're not designed to walk the heel toe like normal shoes. But let's get into some of the mods, because this is a really good boot, aside from a couple of complaints. It's made just really well. The soles are fantastic. They last a long. I've had these boots for years. I've obviously put several miles on them. But there are some things that I did not like. Two things in particular: the toe cap and the heel cup. One of the things that Belleville did was, instead of the traditional toe cap that they use in their boots, they filled these boots with this white, flaky material for the toe cap and the heel cup. And as you use just normal wear and tear just on these boots, that white material starts breaking. And so if you get them wet, or maybe you step on your heel on accident, or something falls on your boots or whatever, a little bit of pressure, it'll start breaking off chips of that white stuff. And you'll start feeling bumps in your heel because those white pieces are breaking off. And so it can be really uncomfortable. In addition to that, the toe cap wasn't wide enough to let my toes fully spread. So these are a wide boot. Normally I wear a regular, but I got them in wide just to, again, I wanted all that space. That's the whole purpose of having a minimalistic type boot. But I still didn't have, because the toe cap was impeding my toes here. So a couple of problems. So what I did was, and if you want to do this mod on these boots, it just takes a lot of patience. What I did was I removed this stitching here. And once you do that, on the inside of this, it's another piece of suede. So you have an outside piece of suede, and then you have an inside piece of suede, and that's all it is. So when you remove this stitching here, and it goes all the way into the boot there, just remove all that stitching, you can open that up and get a tool, a pair of pliers, something in there, and start pulling out that toe cap. And it's going to come out in chunks, I mean little tiny chunks, and it gets messy. So have a vacuum cleaner nearby, have a broom nearby or something, because it's going to get messy trying to pull that toe cap out. Because the older boots, usually you can just pull the whole thing out with one pull, but not on these. Again, that white flaky material is just it's horrible. And so you have to pull it out. You have to make sure you get in the corners here, in the corners of where the sole meets the leather. Those white pieces get caught in there. You have to try and dig them out to the best of your ability. And then once you pull them all out, again, I wanted that really soft toe. I wanted my toes to spread. And so once you pull all that toe cap out, What I did was I just put some shoe glue in there. A little bit of shoe glue is all it takes. Press those two sides together, let it dry overnight, and then restitch this one seam here. And now they're like moccasins. They're so soft and super comfortable. And I love wearing these now with that one simple, well, not really simple, but that one mod. So if you have these boots and you're not liking that toe cap, or that those white pieces have started cracking or folding underneath and you're feeling that on top of your foot, then you might think about just removing the toe cap altogether. The other thing that I did with these boots is on the heel cup. The heel cup is the exact same white flaky material, and it'll fold over and you'll feel it on your heel. So I went ahead, I removed all of this stitching here as well. Now I ran out of the color thread that I wanted, and so I had to kind of mix match the thread here when restitching, but I pulled the old heel cup out. Again, same process. You have to remove all of this thread here, all the way around. It's important to note where the thread comes up to the back of the upper, maybe a pencil mark or something, just so you know when you go to put it back together, you want it to be the same distance, right? The same height for the upper. If you go too shallow, then you'll start seeing a break here, and you don't want that, especially if you're relying on these boots for rough environments, then you obviously don't want that to come apart. So make sure you just mark where it should be, so that when you stitch it, you're going to sandwich this material here in the heel cup. And the heel cup is the same as the toe cup. It's two pieces of suede. So it's really easy to just take the stitches out and put them back in, as long as you line them up, and then as long as you make sure the uppers are in between that stitch. So once I pull this heel cup out, again, just getting all those little white chunks out, it's super frustrating. Once they were out, so what I ended up doing is I took a heel cup out of another pair of boots that I had, and I put it into this one. So again, I just took the stitching out, pulled back the suede, got rid of the old crumpled up heel cup, put the new one in. I did super glue that heel cup into so that it stays solid, it doesn't move around, and then I restitched the top here, and just making sure that you keep the upper into that sandwiched into the stitching. So now I have just a super comfortable pair of boots, great to throw on if you're going for a walk. You need to feel the ground, or you need to, you just want to go the minimalistic style. You want to help your feet out some. You want to walk naturally. Whatever the use case is for having a pair of minimalistic footwear, but maybe you just don't want the low cut. Maybe you want to keep debris out of your shoe. Maybe you're going in the woods or whatever, and you want that extra support. This is probably the best option on the market today, but it did require removing and replacing the heel cup and just removing the toe cup altogether to be as comfortable as they could be. Now, if you make this change, these boots are going to last a long time. Again, I've put a lot of miles on these boots, and the sole is just fantastic. Sole is fantastic. So the other thing to note is if you decide to buy these boots, I had this model, I had the black model. The black model started coming apart. The sole started coming apart from the upper. And my guess is the black paint that they used to paint their leather, maybe it interfered with the bond between the glue, the bond of the glue between the sole and the upper of the boot. And so it started coming apart, like right in here and right up here, started coming apart. But with these, I haven't had a problem. So I'm guessing the suede holds up much better than the black boots. I would imagine that the desert tan ones probably hold up pretty well too. Great boot, highly recommend it. But I do highly recommend making this mod if you feel up to the challenge. Again, it's not complicated, it's just difficult just to get all that white stuff out of there. So just thought I'd share that real quick. And if you have any questions, you have a pair of these boots and you're thinking about making this mod, let me know. Happy to work with you and answer any questions you may have. Well, that's it for this episode of Gear Modder. Until next time, this is Gear Modder signing out.